Welcome everyone to Side Draft and welcome to Fan Reaction. We're going to read some of the fans' reactions on some of NASCAR's decisions or like just random stuff NASCAR that maybe could be interesting to some NASCAR fans and share their opinions about this.
Yeah, we're going to react to their reactions, so it's going to react to
Yes, we're like chemistry class. Got NASCAR and fans. They put them together. You get an explosion. But anyway, we asked the fans what they thought about no practice and no qualifying. And that's been something that's started because of the COVID-19 quarantine. So NASCAR hasn't had any practice or qualifying other than a few instances here and there with like the Coke 600 and things like that.
It's been very surprising the amount of teams that have really come out of the gate really fast and got the car really dialed in good, and really the ones that's really used to be really great and now they're struggling. So I mean, I kind of like it. I mean, it's just made the racing a whole lot better, and the teams ain't got a day or two to really work on the car. Just really get out there and just race.
Yeah, it makes making your predictions for the weekend really tough. You don't know who's going to be good up until
definitely
race day.
I mean, the biggest thing is no qualifying. I mean, that's the biggest thing I think a lot of fans probably would hate to see, but it's just part of the deal now, so we just gotta live with it.
And then at the Daytona Road Course, nobody ever went on that track before, at least in terms of NASCAR Cup cars and everything on the track, and no practice. They just go out there, turn one. That's it.
I mean, it's kind of like you show up for a Saturday night race, the short tracks, the grassroots racing, and just go out there and you race, and that's it.
Yeah, so that's kind of our thoughts about it. So let's see what the fans thought about it. First one is from Kenneth, who says, "It's been a while since I thought about NASCAR at all."
Wow.
Okay, then why are you?
So what's your reaction, man?
What's your reaction? Why are you commenting on a NASCAR post if you haven't thought about it?
Okay, you haven't thought about it, so I don't know. And by the way, if you hear a rumbling noise, it's not my stomach or anything. We got a tractor out in the field, so if you hear that,
that is making a racetrack that you might see in the next couple of weeks.
Possibly, if we get the car going.
If we get the car going, yes. So Kenneth, I don't know what column I should put you in. We'll put you in the undecided column, I guess, because you don't really know about practice or qualifying.
Yeah, he's still on the fence. He hadn't really thought about NASCAR or the racing, the qualifying, and the practice. So.
And then
where you been?
Yeah, where you at, man? Start thinking about it. James says, "I've been wanting them to go to a heat race feature style for a while, just like in dirt racing. Break them up into 2 or 3 20-lap heat races, then run a 100-lap feature, something like that." That's a really interesting idea. I think it could work for the short tracks.
Yeah, that'd be very interesting. I know the trucks go to Eldora and they kind of do the same thing. It's kind of a dirt track kind of deal. I mean, yeah, that'd be pretty cool with NASCAR.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that would settle with the fans, but I think it's pretty interesting for the like hardcore short track racing fans.
Yeah, because the heat races is sort of a semi-practice session, sort of.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe it'd be cool for the Truck Series and Xfinity Series. I'm not sure if they could do that for Cup, possibly, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure NASCAR's thought about it.
Good, interesting comment there.
Yeah, good thought there.
Julia says, "It's good for racing, but bad for my fantasy picks." Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I was thinking too. So, because when you go to your fantasy pick, you think about, like Kyle Busch. I mean, he's really struggling right now. Is he struggling because of the practice, or is it just the racing in general? I don't know. So when you go pick your fantasy team, you just don't really. It's like, well, regularly this guy would be good or that guy would be good, but I don't know now because Yeah, because you really depend on your practice speeds and what to do on the qualifying and practice. So then you set up your fantasy team.
And then she adds, it reminds me of dirt track racing. Show up, race, go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, it's pretty crazy how the world has been this year, and here we are talking about just racing and going home.
Yeah, I mean, they should come. I know the haulers can get there, say like on a Thursday or something, and then they're there practice on Friday, then practice on Saturday, and then race on Sunday. I mean, that's a whole lot of time right there. And just you show up, you race, you go home.
Show up, race, go home. We need that on a shirt.
Yeah.
Then Tommy says, good for a change. Blind draw will be fun to watch them. Just like dirt racing. So far, everyone's like, yes, I love this because of dirt racing. Besides Kenneth. But
yeah, because everybody likes the dirt racing. They like get down the dirt, the local tracks. You just go down there and watch them race and just bring back the memories. And now you're going into the higher platforms and they're kind of doing the same thing. So, yeah, I mean, that's what NASCAR is built on, is racing on the beach. And now, here we are compared to dirt, and we're moving on.
Yeah, it's kind of like dirt to Daytona, but it's the same thing. Carter who says, it's NASCAR style of just sending it. Just send it, man. I mean, I think that really describes it perfectly. They're like, you know what, just send it. Just send them out there and race. And,
I think it kind of goes back to boys have at it.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. It's like, we don't know what we have. I normally interview a driver before the race. They're like, yeah, we had a good car in practice, and I think it's going to translate good to the race. Now it's like, I really don't know what I have. I can go out there and be the dominant car, or I can go out there and run 30th all day.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like a Hot Wheels mystery car.
And once you get on the track, you're either a hero or zero. So
yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
And then Rob says, loving it.
So far, we got a lot of good feedback.
A lot of positive reaction. Yeah. Other than Kenneth earlier, no real negative reaction.
Yeah, I mean, everybody really likes the change, and maybe this will be the new normal now. Let's just go out there and don't practice and don't qualify, just go out there and race. I mean, yeah.
Then you got Mean Vegas Lady, who says, she's really mean. Think they should put all in the mix, not divide it up. So I think they're trying to say 1 week there'll be no practice, but the next week there will be.
I don't know if to comment or not because she's mean.
Yeah, I think that is a good idea, but it might make some fans confused about, are we practicing this week or are we not? So
yeah, a lot of drivers and teams and fans will be kind of confused. Are we going to practice or not quite practice, or what we doing? What's our schedule?
Yeah, but it also would be cool to see some qualifying again and have some more things on TV through the week. That's probably the downside to this, is you get to see less in NASCAR.
Yeah, I know, like on Friday, you're looking forward to qualifying or practice or something, but then there's nothing unless there's a truck race or something.
Yeah, you just kind of wait until the races, which is, it's also kind of cool though, because you don't know if your driver is going to be good. Sometimes in practice, you're like, well, my driver sucks this week, no need to watch.
But then when you got like a doubleheader cup race that weekend, you can't really practice a lot. I mean, you race on Saturday and you race on Sunday, and yeah, I like it. You get double races. I mean, it's pretty cool.
And some teams can take that first day as a practice day, and also qualifying.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of good opinions so far. Next up is Philip. I like no practice, but they should be allowed to qualify. The random draw really hurts the playoff positions 13 through 16. They still need to revamp the draw. 1 to 16 should always draw together. So we made this Twitter post before they changed into the new formula. So let's talk about something that's no longer in place. So the new formula it works for like the whole playoff thing, but it also it's kind of confusing to think about where your driver's going to be.
Yeah, because it's very tough. I mean, when they had a random draw, you just didn't know where your driver's going to start, and then now they changed it, and like if you win, and it's a plus for it. So, man, it's a tough one right there.
I was wondering if that's going to go like when it gets to the playoffs, like the first 16 drivers all playoff drivers, no matter what.
Yeah, because I mean, you may have a good car, but you had a bad race the week before.
Yeah.
And you just got
to dig yourself out of that hole. And playoff time, you only got 3 races or really 2 races if you screw up one race. So you only got 2 races to dig up that hole that you made.
I mean, Denny Hamlin and Kevin Hart probably got the best chance of getting to the playoffs and doing something like that.
Especially with their abundance of playoff points, and I think Harvick is pretty much for sure going to win the regular season champion. So that's an additional 15 playoff points. So they could pretty much cruise through the playoffs if they don't have, like 3 bad races in a row.
Yeah, just try to stay in that lead and try to keep number 1 spot.
And Jonathan says, I like it. Save money and put a somewhat better product on the track.
I mean, once again, you got another good feedback. Everybody likes it. Yes, it does save a lot of money because you got to bring the crews in earlier and all that. I mean, I think the racing's been a lot better.
And also, you don't really have to bring a backup car because you're not going to be wrecking one in practice or qualifying. You just bring out 1 car. You don't got to set up 2. So that also saves money in that aspect. And with the COVID-19 going around, there's a lot of racetracks shutting down, a lot of race teams shutting down, and we need to save as much money as we can. Or not us, but NASCAR as a whole.
Yeah, because you look at a lot of the truck teams and some of the Xfinity teams. It helps them save a little bit of money. Even the big teams, right now everybody's trying to save what little bit they can, just to keep their business going and keep their employees. And it's very tough. I mean, it's very tough before. I mean, all the paying employees to come and do the pitting and all that. So, I mean, it saves a ton right now just trying to help these teams survive.
Michael, who says he's mixed. Not having qualifying, I do like. Lack of practice, though, means generally sloppier preparation.
Here's kind of the opposite than the one before.
Yeah.
So it's a little mixed bag. He like to get more practice, and you expect a big team to run well, and then with no practice, and they go out here and they're just jumping. So it makes everybody want to step up to the plate and just come out swinging good, swinging harder. I just messed up.
Swinging good, man.
Yeah, it just makes you want to come out and just be great off the truck. So.
Yeah, I think it really depends on who your favorite driver is, if you like this format or not. Because if you like Hamlin or Harvick, you're most likely going to like it because it has fit their style. They just go out there and perform. I mean, before coronavirus, or at least the quarantine, Harvick had 0 wins.
Yeah.
And then throughout this, he goes back to the first race, no practice, no qualifying, goes and wins Darlington. So, I think it helps those drivers.
Sometimes Kyle, he would, come and load off truck, he'd be fast. Or the car is just totally bad. Or, Truex, he'd come off the truck and he's just tremendously slow. And then all of a sudden, after a couple of practice days, he's back in form. And now they got to just be up on their game. And Rodney Childers, I mean, he's a racer himself, so he comes out here, he's prepared, and he's got Kevin's car running good.
And I think with Truex and Kyle Busch, they're going to get better once the playoffs start. Don't think that they're just going to, just
because Truex ran great at Daytona. I mean, he was second or
I think it was third like 5 times in a row. So he is definitely getting better at this. Kyle is as well. He just hasn't had the luck lately.
Yeah, he's just losing it lately.
Yeah.
I mean, he just has some bad luck, and once he gets through all that, he'd be all right.
So that was the fan reaction from no practice and no qualifying. So should we see no practice and qualifying in 2021 with no quarantine, hopefully?
I don't know. I think a lot of fans really like the no practice, and I think it makes the racing a little better. Somewhat, it really depends on your team, which one you pull for. So it's hard to say about going into 2021 what the normal's going to be then. So
No, we don't even know. We could still be in this.
we don't even know if we're normal or not. So
we don't know. So yeah, a lot of good comments, mostly positive, aside from a few good. But it seems like the fans like it.
Yeah, the one that really negative is a couple of them might have been on the fence, just undecided. So mostly positive. I think races I've seen, I like no practice.
All right, so for the next fan reaction, let's do something a little different. I want to see your own playoff system. If you own NASCAR, how would you make the playoffs? Or would you even have one at all? Let us know that down below in the comments.
Yeah, what changes would you do for the playoffs to make them better?
Yeah, just want to see what people think about that, because I want to see the craziest playoff system that you have. I want to see that. That'd be awesome.
We're going to get your voice on here, so just comment and let us know what you think.
Yeah, comment down below. This is like kind of like the fan council, but we actually take in your full comment and not try to skew the results or anything like the fan council does. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and click like and subscribe if you want to see more from us, and we'll see you next time on Side Draft.